So I'm about to head off for my midweek milk run. But before I do, I thought I should run my experiment 2 years ago again, which was find the cheapest 911. But this time I'll expand it because I feel like the other Porsches don't get any love from anybody. Maybe some of them aren't deserving of it. But anyway, so if I go to Auto Trader, the app that is, and I select my make as Porsche, and then I hit search, and then I sort by price low to high, and I've not set any criteria, so manual, 911, Boxster, anything like that. It's just Porsche. So we're going to go cheapest Porsche, okay? So start with, what's the lowest one? Now remember, when I bought mine, it's better. When I bought mine 2 years ago, and I did the same thing, but I selected 911, coupe, hardtop, two-wheel drive, and then I went by MOT and all that kind of stuff. Turn this off. Whereas now I've done none of that, and the first thing that comes up is a 1999 Porsche Boxster 2.5 with 84,000 miles. This, I fear, may be a non-running one. Okay, slight misfire, no offers, next MOT due the 3rd of March next year. Right, let's have a look. Is it manual? Hurry up and tell me, is it manual? 84,000 miles. Yes, it is manual. And it's £2,000. Slight misfire. I wonder if that's just a coil pack. Now that's an anomaly because it's sold as spares or repair. But that could be a great buy for somebody. £2,000. Okay, but let's get to the more serious ones. Okay, so then after that, I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 cars are below £5,000. 12 of which are Cayennes, some of them Cayenne S. And I suspect that's because they're shit. Cayennes are shit. I mean, they're hitting their real value now, and they're not going to go up, unless you get one owner, blah, 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 whatever, low mileage. But they're just big, pumped up, I don't know, Audi Q7s or whatever they are. And tons of stuff goes wrong with them. But 2 of those were Boxsters. Now, take away the Boxster S, not Boxster S, take away the £2,000 one, which is 2.5 engine size. There's another one, 2.5, 4,750, that's 95,000 miles, also a 1999. There's another 1999 with 133,000 miles, 4,600. I think there is one more. There's another one, 3,950. That's also a 2.5. 1998, 107,000 miles, but that's a Tiptronic. So there are bargains to be had, but now let's look for the cheapest 911. Oh, for £5,500, there is a 944 Lux 2.5 litre, and it's a B-Reg 1983. Not my favourite, but let's keep going. Let's look for the first 911. So as you go up, more Cayennes, more Boxsters, Cayenne, Boxster, Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, Boxster. Another 944 sold. Cayenne, Boxster, another 944 for £6,500. The 3 litre S2, better. Cayenne, Cayenne, Cayenne. 924S. 924S for 6,700. Now you don't see a lot of those. Still not my favorite, but that could be a good car. It's 6,990, and it's a 1988, an E-Ridge with 106,000 miles. But after that, we go back into Cayenne, Boxster. We're up to 7,200 now. Boxster, Cayenne. 944, Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, Cayenne. I sound like I'm speaking some weird language. Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, 944 again, 2.5 litre still. Cayman, £9,000, 2007, 149,000 miles, the 2.7. Back to Boxster, 944, the 2.5 litre again. Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster. Right, we're up to 9,000 now. Back, right, okay, 9,000 now, so we're still Boxster. Oh, there's another no, Boxster. We're about to hit a 911. Cayenne, Boxster, another Cayman, 9,950 for another 2007 with 95,000 miles, 2.7. So 9,950. Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, a lot of Boxsters, Cayenne, Boxster, Cayenne, Boxster, another Cayenne, Boxster, oh my goodness, oh, hold on, we've hit the first 911, oh no, that's a sponsored ad, ignore that. We're still on Boxster, Cayman for £11,000, 2007 again, this one I'm a 3.4. Boxster, we're going into 11,500 now. And we haven't come across a 911 yet, we're hitting more Caymans now. Aha! No, that's the sponsored ad again. Boxster. Oh my goodness, Boxster. This is boring, isn't it? This is how many 8 minutes we've done of this. So bear with me. I'm going to get to a 911 very soon. So we're still on Boxsters. Couple of Cayennes thrown in. 9,683 litre. £13,500. Hang on, we're into 13,000s and we haven't seen 911 yet. Here we go. £13,500. Porsche 911 3.4 996 Carrera 2 Cabriolet Tiptronic S. Price to sell. It does not sound like you've priced it to sell. £13,500 Tiptronic and convertible. Two things that I would not like, but decent mileage, 82,000. And then we get to then we come into the 996s. Tiptronic. Oh, there's 13,750 for a manual, 108,000 miles, full Porsche service history. So they're considerably more expensive. There are a few under that 10,000 when I got mine. I mean, 9 something. So mine was advertised for over 9,000, nearly 10,000. But anyway, time to start the milk run. Right. Let's hit the road. Okay. So at the moment, it's kind of mid-April. It's fucking freezing. That's why I'm dressed like the Michelin Man. And I'm so tired. I've come out of this little bubble of feeling happy and sunny and awesome over the Easter weekend, and back into the hell of work and cold weather and shit. And my face hurts from being so tired. But I've managed to get out for the milk run, which is good. So looking at what I've just talked about, looking at Porsches in general and not just concentrating on the 911. Oh man, the road's so shit down here. There's a lot out there that are much cheaper. But a Cayenne, forget it. That's not a step into buying Porsches. That's a step into hell, because they're just rubbish. And I've not driven one, but if you want a Porsche and you've never had one before, like I was 2 years ago, you'd go, I want something that I'm going to enjoy driving. How can that be an SUV? How can someone think that's an SUV? I want something that I'm going to enjoy driving. That's a real experience to drive. I know. I'll buy a tank, because that's essentially what's happening. And they're cheap for a reason. But some of those Boxsters, £2,000 with a misfire, if it's got compression and all of those other things, then you'd think, well, is it likely to be just a coil pack or something? Who knows? But there's options out there for everyone. Single Magpie, salute you. And I would say keep looking. There's still people saying, I'm thinking of getting into a 996, and I'm hoping to do it in a year or in 6 months. Those cars are still out there. They're still for sale, but you've really got to look, and you can't just look on Auto Trader. You can't just look on eBay. You can't just look on, Car and Classic. You've got to look on the forums and Facebook groups, all of those, and that's where you're going to find the bargain. It's going to be someone who's got one parked up. You're going to post something saying, I want to sell one, and it's going to make people think, oh, I've got one parked up, I don't really use it, I guess I should sell it, and they're going to want rid of it quite quickly. So they'll be out there. Would I say they're overpriced at the moment? Probably not. I think they're probably a year or 2 years ago, if I'm being honest, they were probably underpriced. Right now is where I think they should be. When they start to go higher, I'll probably start thinking, they're starting to get overpriced. So that's something to bear in mind. And the weather being, I'm jumping around topics again. The weather changing has been really shitty, because I wanted to do some more work on my 912. I wanted to make it, lower it from the front, because I've done the back. I've just looked up how to adjust the camber and the toe. So it's the two concentric bolts. So you just put an Allen key on, loosen everything up, Allen key, and you turn it. Obviously I won't be able to get it bang on, but just so it looks right, and then I can take it somewhere where I can have everything lined up. Oh, 2016 Mustang. So I'm going to do all of that, but at the moment I feel a bit bleh, because it's cold and it's going to snow in a few days. Not only that, being off work for about 4 days for the long Easter weekend, and you think maybe it's not going to be as busy as it was before, but it is. In fact, it's exactly the same as it was before. Boom. So yeah, it's exactly the same as it was before, but with it being snowing and things like that, I can see the roads are being salted already, and that's rubbish. So it means I can't take my 912 out, but I just need to jack it up. I just need to jack it up and get under the car, lower the front, measure it up, get it somewhere where I'm quite happy with it. Get some wheel centers, because I do think I would like those. It kind of looks okay without them, but I would like them. And then I can tell whether I need spacers or not, or I just go with what I've got. I've kind of given up right now on getting steel wheels. Now, Group 4 Wheels, who you can find on Instagram, they do a great set of wheels that are exactly like the steel wheels, but they're made of aluminium. But they're about £360 each. without a tyre. So that's a lot of money. And throw in a tyre, which is probably about £100 for an average tyre. So that's currently, you're heading towards £2,000 for a set of wheels. I can't afford that, and I'm still doing stuff on a budget. But what I need to do is sort the exhaust out. So, but I need to do these things in order and not try and tackle too many things at once. So I need to do the stance. So that's what I need to do. The thing that I haven't done is the squeak. I don't know if you can hear it. That's pretty shit. And it's so annoying when I get in and I start the car up and I start driving and I go, I haven't done it. Because I get home and I jump out and I go in the house and I start working, I start doing other stuff, and I forget all about it. Because, you know, I've got to rush to get the milk in the fridge from the milk run. Because that's all I do these days, the milk run. And that's about all that's going on at the moment. There's nothing else interesting happening apart from everything I've told you on the previous video. What I do want to do is, because next week lockdown is easing a little bit and I think dealerships are opening. So I did think about going to test drive a 992 because I could sell my cars and get a 992. But I don't think I want that. I don't want a modern one. I don't want a modern one that I can't enjoy the performance. I think this car is at the peak of the performance that I want to be at. Because I'm not a track person, I would never go to a track. So this is the performance that I can enjoy on the road any faster, and no. And also my cars are much bigger. I do want to test drive one to experience it, but I don't know if I'd be able to feel the same level of acceleration, because on the Golf R, which is much smoother and it's a DSG, the performance, you have to really work at feeling the performance, if that makes sense. So I need to do that. But again, that means time, that means organizing it, all of those things. So I need to do those things. But I think the number one thing, the thing that should be at the top of my list, is get the stance right on there's traffic jam. I am turning back and going to a different shop, because normally I come out this way and go to a shop that is a little bit further away, but there's likely to be less people there, and it's a petrol station, so I can get fuel as well. But there's another shop that's a little bit closer, but it's likely to be busier, and I don't really want to be hanging around with people when there's a pandemic on and I haven't had my jab. But anyway, so that's where we are. Short video, not much of an update. You saw a lot of me scrolling through Auto Trader going Cayenne, Cayenne, Boxster, 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 Cayenne. But it just goes to show that on the Auto Trader app, certainly, there's a whole load of Porsche Cayennes that are for sale for under £5,000, but there's about 3 or 4 Boxsters. I haven't looked into whether they are cheap for a reason, because there's some that you just think, well, I just want to get into driving a Porsche. Should I go down the route of a Boxster? And listen to the Porsche Called Owner Story, the latest one, which is Jeff from San Diego. And he's gone and bought one, a similar kind of price. I think he paid something like $7,500 for an early-ish, I think it might be the second gen 986.2. And he's loving it. And it's not 100% perfect, but then you start pricing yourself out if you start saying I want a 100% perfect one. So he got some checks, he knew there were things that he needed to do, and he budgeted for them. He does a load of stuff himself. So listen to that, the Porsche Called Owner Story, the latest one, Jeff from San Diego. I'm pretty sure it's San Diego. Go and listen to that, because he talks about taking that first step into Porsche ownership, and a lot of people will go, oh, but I want a 911, which I kind of did. But you don't have to do that. You can just go and experience Porsche, and it's mid-engined, it's convertible, and it's that engine. If you get the 2.5 litre engine, it's enjoyable, usable, accessible performance. So I would say, don't write that off. But I guess it's easy for me to say, sat here driving a 911, and they used to have all sorts of stigma attached to them, which I don't get. It's still a Porsche. And why? And where people said, oh well, you bought a Porsche Boxster because you can't afford a Boxster S, and you bought a Boxster S because you can't afford a 911. But you can say that about anything. You can say, well, you bought a 911 because you can't afford an S. You bought an S because you can't afford a GT. You bought a GT because you can't afford an RS. You know, you go on forever. And that's, you know, the old Clarkson way of saying that. Maybe he said that in tongue-in-cheek as well. I can't remember. It was a long 25 years ago. But they are so affordable now. So I would say, don't write it off. Go and test drive one. Try one. And if you bought one, if you're a renter, can I say a renter? Then think about one like that one for £2,000. You know, decent mileage. It's a part exchange at a garage, so it looks like someone's just handed it in. It might have some documentation that goes with it. So if you go and search for Boxsters on Auto Trader, you'll find one, an early one with the amber indicators, and it's a blue one, so the amber indicators don't look too bad with that blue one. It's a dark blue one. So think about that, and I'll have more time to talk through stuff on the next video. It's probably going to be another milk run because I don't think I'll be getting out in the 912 because of the weather. It looks like it's going to be awful for the next few days. I apologize for my rather sleepy looking appearance and my Michelin Man coat. I mean, to be fair, I probably look like the Michelin Man underneath this coat as well, because I do not get out much. I don't do any exercise. I haven't done all the time that I've been in lockdown. But maybe I should start doing a blog where I'm walking. But what would that be about? Video blog, me walking. Would that just be general chit chat? But who's going to listen to that? I don't know. But I'm still focused on growing my YouTube channel. I'm doing more videos. And I want to do more things. I've been chatting to, well, it was his suggestion, Nick from Instagram, who suggested we should have a live face-to-face catch-up with a few people. Now the lockdown is eased, we can meet in a pub somewhere where we can sit outside, eat, drink coffee, and mingle, socially distanced, of course, in a car park. I've also reached out to Rint, the Porsche restorers. Well, they're kind of restorers in general, but they do a lot of Porsche, and they've got a lot of old 911s and 912s for sale, so I wouldn't mind going to have a look. I don't know how they'd feel about me coming to have a look, but I'd like to go there in my 912 so they could have a look at it and tell me how bad it is. But that's all on the weather. So a lot of things I want to do, but the weather taking a nosedive has really scuppered all of that stuff, because it would have been really easy just to get in the car and go out. I wouldn't mind doing a walk around of my 912 just to give a bit more detail of what it's all about, so people can have a closer look at it. I think I did one when I was with Jack, when it was at Jack's. So all of those things are to come. And I didn't say it again at the beginning for people to hit like and subscribe, because yeah, I'm going to try and grow the channel, which means everything might stop. I don't know. People might go, oh, I'm not subscribing to that, but it would be great if you did, and then I'll be able to do more content and be able to go and meet more people as lockdown is eased. So look out for that. And that's it from me for this milk run. Probably be another milk run. So see you then. Until then, stay safe. Thank you.